Hi everybody, welcome to the Planet 46 Comic Show. I'm Matt Price. I'm here with Kyle Roberts. Kyle, my spider sense is tingling. What's going on this week?
Easy there, Tiger. Yeah, we have an Amazing Spider-Man show today because Amazing Spider-Man is out at the theaters. And Marvel may unveil a new film project. Also, Star Wars comes to Kansas. All that and more this week on Planet 46 Comic Show. So yeah, obviously first up, Web Slinger is back in action and at the theater.
That's right. You and I recently saw the Amazing Spider-Man movie starring Andrew Garfield as Peter Parker, aka Spider-Man. Kyle, what did you think?
I think it was great. I think the acting was far better than any of the previous Spider-Man films. I think it's going to be a great Spider-Man for a new generation.
Cool. Well, I enjoyed it as well. Of course, you've got Rhys Ifans coming in as the Lizard. I thought Emma Stone was really good as Gwen Stacy. It was a little strange to me that she was also a genius, but they had great chemistry.
Yeah.
The two of them.
Chemistry.
And they had great chemistry. And so it was fun. It was a little different Peter Parker than what you got with the Tobey Maguire ones. I'm not sure I liked it better than the Tobey Maguire movies, but it was really good and recommended. So
cool. That
leads us into our question of the day.
Yeah, and that's just, what do you think? What did you think of The Amazing Spider-Man?
Yeah, did you go see it? Tell us what you thought in the comments of the new Spider-Man film.
Cool. And then our next topic, Guardians of the Galaxy film in the works. It's the Marvel's comic. Yeah,
both Variety and Latino Review are reporting that the Guardians of the Galaxy movie is in the works at Marvel, and that the movie's looking at a May 16th, 2014 release date. And according to Latino Review, the script is by Nicole Perlman, and they're expecting an official announcement at Comic-Con coming up shortly. Kevin Feige talked to Entertainment Weekly last year and said there's an opportunity to do a big space epic, which Thor sort of hints at, with characters in a property called Guardians of the Galaxy. These original Guardians were a team of space heroes that went back in time to recruit the Avengers in the original comics. Entertainment Weekly says that the movie property might be more based on the 1990s reboot that Jim Valentino did. So start hunting those back issue bins now for that series, which is a pretty popular series right before he went to Image and did Shadowhawk.
Cool. And next topic, Star Wars. Gonna be in Wichita.
That's right. The Star Wars exhibition at Exploration Place in Wichita, Kansas actually is the current sponsor of the Nerdage blog, so you can click right from there to get to the site. This exhibition will let fans encounter the fantasy technologies depicted in Star Wars films, investigate the real science behind them, and look into the current research that may someday lead to remarkable real-life versions of the technology seen in the film series. There's also more than 80 props, models, and costumes on display. And you can visit exploration.org/Star Wars HTML for more information about this exhibit.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, very cool, and just up the road for those of you in the Oklahoma City area.
Absolutely. You know what? Let's get into the review file. Okay, first up we got Spider-Man #2. Not Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. This is with Brian Michael Bendis, Sarah Pichelli. Kind of continuing our big Spider-Man week. Spider-Man faces Spider-Man in this continuation of the first crossover between Marvel's original universe and the Ultimate Universe, started in 2000. Peter Parker meets Miles Morales, the Spider-Man of the Ultimate Comics universe. And because Peter's unaware he's crossed into a different universe, these two, of course, have to scuffle a little bit before realizing what's happened. Mysterio seems to be mixed up in what's happened to our heroes, though much of this mystery has yet to be revealed. Nick Fury also makes an appearance for a well-written scene. There's good dialogue from Bendis throughout and dynamic art and storytelling from Sarah Pichelli that make this a fun and well-done crossover worth picking up.
Sweet. Next up, surprisingly, another Spider-Man. Amazing Spider-Man #688 versus the Lizard.
Yeah, Dan Slott and Giuseppe Camuncoli. I may be saying that
Just
wrong.
look at that cover.
Yeah, it's you definitely have got the Lizard. The Lizard returns worse than ever in Amazing Spider-Man #688, where Spider-Man learns the truce of sorts he had with the Lizard may not have been such a good idea. So Spider-Man, using a formula created by Morbius the Living Vampire, Kyle's favorite, has decided to put a stop to the Lizard. This serum is created from DNA of those related to Kurt Connors, and so they think it's going to be able to put a stop to his Lizard transformations. The series is a natural follow-up to the last Lizard story, Shed, from a few years ago, but also continues on themes developed throughout Slott's run. Despite all this, if you haven't read a Spidey comic in years or ever, this is a good place to jump on. It's a fast-paced comic that might not reach the heights of the best of the Dan Slott run, but does what it's meant to do as a comic coming out in conjunction with the Amazing Spider-Man film.
Sweet. And then finally, Fatale.
Yeah, #6. This is Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips starting the second arc of Fatale. as it continues to develop in 2 time periods. While the first arc was set in modern times in the 50s, this one is now in modern times in the 70s. So in modern times, Nicholas Lash is still digging into the story of Josephine as danger gets ever closer around him. In the flashback story in 1970s Los Angeles, Joe is trying to establish a new life. B-list movie star Mitch is looking for a fix, but stumbles onto a scene of grisly murder spurred by a mysterious film reel. When Mitch attempts to rescue his friends, he's led to Joe, and it sets up the mystery of the second arc. This horror noir from Image Comics remains one of the best comics being published. Highly recommended.
Very cool. So what was your pick?
I'll say, just to go opposite, there's a lot of Spider-Man stuff, so if you want to do all that, but I'll go with Fatale just as my pick. Check that out. Continues to be good stuff as the second arc begins.
Cool.
All right, so hey, come back next week. We'll have more comic book and movie news. For Kyle Roberts, I'm Matt Price. Thanks for watching.